What's up guys, it's Levesque Designs here, and today I'm going to do a quick little tutorial for you guys. So I'm just going to jump right into this. It's just a little background thing, like basically like a desktop background, what I usually do to start it off, and you know, some tips, blah blah blah, stuff like that. So, and I got a text, sweet. So open up your Photoshop, get a new layer going. Alright, so again, this is how I do it. You know, you can do whatever. You can use this for kind of to mix it in with what you do, or you can copy it. I don't really care. I'm just showing you how I do it. There's multiple ways. But alright, what I usually do, I start off with a nice, really dark gray, maybe like right there, and I just fill that in, and I make a new layer. Get a soft brush and put it about 950 pixels, and then get whatever color you want. I think I'm gonna use a light blue. Nope. Yep, I'm gonna use light blue. Oops. Do that. Okay, so you click on sorry. Okay, you click on your 950 pixels soft brush, click on it once. Now this is where you can either decide to, I like to tone it down because I think it's really, you know, it really shouldn't be that bright because it's just the background color. So I put it usually around 50%, and that just darkens it. And then merge down. And now a lot of people, and I learned from Rated Designs because he's a freaking beast. I don't know if you guys can see this, because you probably won't be able to see it in the video, but I'm sure you guys are all aware of the branding lines, like the kind of circle you get when you use a brush or a gradient, like the crappy just lines and shit. The best way to get rid of those is after you merge the layer, and you might have effects on it, make sure you just convert Smart Object and rasterize layer. You want to go to Filter, Brush Strokes, and then go to Spatter. And then you want the spray radius around 7, and then smoothness on 1. And that will just, if you guys try it, you'll see it just really smooths everything out, makes it look nice and clean. But alright, moving on. Next thing I do usually, I like to have scan lines in a lot of my stuff, so if you don't have scan lines, you can either make a pattern, or I'll show you what you can do really quick to make them. But anyways, you just drag them right in to like right here. Just put them anywhere. You can mess around with them, but you just put them on overlay and 25%. But alright, let's go to, I'll just show you real quick in another document. I won't actually do the whole thing because it takes a little bit, and I want to get this done quick. But basically what you do, make a new layer, and you make a hard brush, like a 100% hardness, and then 1 pixel for the brush, and then you take the pen, or yeah, you can take pen tool, and just go all the way across your screen in a straight line. Hold shift to make a straight line, and stroke path, and uncheck. So make sure that's not checked. Simulate pressure, make sure it's not checked, and hit OK. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Make sure the color's white, and stroke path. Oh, god damn, I am terrible today. Sorry guys, I just woke up. But alright, so you stroke the pen tool with a white line. So you just stroke path, hit enter to get rid of the path, and then you can't really see it because it's transparent, it's hard to see. So maybe what you can do is just put maybe a gray in the background to see what you're doing. Just make sure it's on a separate layer, and then you take this and you want to zoom in a little bit, and Control J, which is copy, obviously, if you don't know. And then you hold control. You can hold control to, because if you don't hold control, it's gonna jump around a lot, and you might not want that. You can hold shift to make it like, well, shift does a lot of like stuff for like proportion and stuff like that. But what you want to do is hold control and get it lined up where you can just barely see another. You should be able to see that it's just barely another line. So it's lined up with just a tiny space in between, and then you want to do that the same line for every one. And once you make a couple of them, just shift click all these layers that you have the lines on and merge the layers, Control J, and just drag them right down and keep copying them, and eventually you'll fill the screen, and that's how you do it. And if you have alright, say you do all these we get on the side of the page here. Whoops. Alright, say you have, see how right here I have kind of shitty stuff going up there, like it's not filling the screen. That's okay, just fill the screen with basically all the scan lines, and then what you can do when you're done, merge, make sure all the lines are merged, and you Control T, and it's really hard because it's really small, but you obviously free transform, and you can just take the one of the sides and just drag it right over, so it won't do anything to the scan lines. It'll just even it out and make sure it's on the whole screen. But yeah, just do that until you fill the screen, and then after that you'll have a full scan line thingy. And you can just drag them right in and make sure you save them so you don't have to do it every time. But yeah, moving back to this. Color correction is whatever you guys like. I like to do kind of like rated style. He likes to do really dark stuff. So you just go to curves and you, what do you mean to put on? So you go to curves for adjustments, and you just drag this down a little bit and take another, you just make a little S kind of. And then you can see it just darkens it up, makes it look really nice. But sometimes I turn the opacity down so it's not as, you know, bold. And then you make a gradient map, and depending on what colors I'm using and stuff like that, I'll usually do overlay, and I'll just add a black to white gradient map, and I would just put it on about 25%. It all, like I said, it all depends on the colors and what's in the background. And then another one, you make another gradient map and you put it on soft light, and go to the purple, the orange, and also you can just change your colors depending on what, you know, what matches and what would look good with it. But just go to soft light and 25%. Okay, let's see how long this is so far. 7 minutes. God damn. I don't want to drag it too long on this, so I just want to show you the basics. So you have this. Okay. For text, this is basically like the background part. For text, sometimes if you want to do clean, you can just add text to that and you'll be good. But for most backgrounds, I would use, or this I would use, you can use, you know, whatever the hell is your style. It's not, you know, I'm not telling you have to do this. I'm just showing you how I do it, and yeah. But you take a nice texture. I don't really care because I'm just trying to get this done. I'm just showing you guys. Take a nice texture and spread it right across the screen. Make sure it's a big texture because obviously you want to be able to fit the screen. And then drag it down below your scan lines and hit, actually rasterize the texture first, and then Control U to change the hue and saturation. And then you want to take the saturation all the way down just so it doesn't, like, because otherwise you'll have whatever weird color the texture is if it's not already gray. Just turn it right down, and then go to the blend modes, blends options. Oh my god, blend options. Go to overlay, and then sometimes you can, depending on the texture, sometimes you can leave it just where it is. But I like to turn mine down to about 50, maybe 60, and that just gives it a nice, cool effect for the background. And but yeah, I'm gonna show you a quick text thing too, like a Photoshop text. I'll probably make a Cinema 4D text tutorial sometime, but for now we're just gonna stay in Photoshop. So let's take a little 50 brush size, or 50 size for the text, make it a black, and we're just gonna use impact, and we'll put tutorial, and we're just gonna drag that A lot of things you can do if you don't want to like put it exactly in the middle, or you want to, maybe you want it exactly in the middle. To center everything, all you have to do is you can either, obviously you can take these lines and Control R if you don't have the measuring things on the side. I don't remember what they're called. And but all you have to do is click on your layer that you want to center, and then click on the bottom layer, the background layer, and then you just go up to your move tool, and then up here you have all these options to put it on the sides and center it. You can center it perfectly, or you can put it on the bottom, you know, whatever, but it'll just make it exactly centered. So okay, so once you have that, I'm just gonna leave this right in the middle because that's where I want it, and I'm gonna go to blending options, and let's see, I'm gonna put a gradient overlay, and I'm gonna go to this really light gray to white, and I'm just gonna leave it. You can either go to you can go to reverse and then change the mode to radial, but in this case, since it's just white, I'm just gonna leave it to how it is. And I'm gonna go to drop shadow, and I'm gonna put it about 65%. Zero distance, zero distance, 30 size, 20 spread. It's all depends on what you guys like. And if you find that it's too bold, just turn the opacity down a little bit, and it'll really make it a nice look to it. And alright, and yeah, that's basically, this is just basic text size. I'm not going too far in depth with it. But after that, you do that, rasterize it, and convert it to a smart object, and then rasterize it again. And what that does, it just makes it so everything is erasable. You can add textures to it, blah blah blah. You can with it, but it's just a lot easier if you make it one solid thing, and it's just easier to work with. So alright, now take a texture. Unless you want to leave it clean, you can leave it clean, or you can take a brush and just. But yeah, this is basic texture thing. I'll show you how to do a texture, and then I'll do a brush real quick, and then yeah. So you drag a texture on, drag it right over, and then you hold Alt, and you click right in between the two layers. Like you put it above the layer you want it on, and then you just click right in between the two layers, holding Alt, and that'll make sure it's only on that layer. And then you hit Overlay. In this case, I have a white text, so it's not going to show up that much. So in that case, you might want to put it on maybe hard light, which I don't know because sometimes it gives it a weird effect. But if you go to multiply, you can obviously you'll see that it goes right on there, and you can just lower the opacity to somewhere you like. And I think I'm going to leave it about right there. And then a lot of other things that you can do. There's just so many options you can do. Maybe you want a thumbnail. Maybe this is ideal for a thumbnail. You can have stuff like this for a thumbnail. But one thing I like to do, and this is the last thing I'm going to do before I'm done, is, alright, well first of all, if you want textures and you don't have any, just go on Google. If you want brushes, again, Google. But you just go to your brushes. Like I have a shitload of brushes that I haven't installed yet, but yeah. And you pick a grungy brush, and you can just go all over the place with it, and then just overlay, and you know, it looks really nice if you have good textures. But anyways, the last text I'm gonna do, say you want, let's see, we'll make this a smaller, this is like a subtext, like a below it. Say you want your name or something, or whatever the case may be. I'm just gonna put Levesque Designs. Levesque Designs, and I'm going to bring this right down here. And sometimes it's a good contrast, depending on all the lighting and stuff like that, to leave it how it is and leave it black, and then just fade it out. This isn't the case because I want to show you guys something really quickly. But as you can see, if you just fade it out, that looks pretty nice, and it's not like overpowering the tutorial text, and it just gives it a nice little effect that makes it look nice. And another thing you can do with your main text is make sure it's rasterized, and you can Command J for Mac and Control J for PC users. And then you copy the layer, go to the bottom layer, Control T, and hold Shift and make it bigger. Oh, I'm sorry guys, I'm on the wrong damn layer. So I'll do that real quick. Sorry. And Control T, and you hold Shift as you're dragging it out, just so it doesn't go all over the place. It stays proportionate. And then you want to drag this right over here, and you can either fade it out to about 25% right there and erase some of it, like the bottom parts and maybe the middle, the sides a little bit. Or what I like to do, I take it and I go, I turn it slightly to the side, and then I turn the opacity to about 50. I go to blur and I go to motion blur, and then I go to 90, and I just mess with it till I find something I like. But also sometimes you want it on 0. It all depends on, or sometimes you can even just put it crazy looking. That's what I'll do right now. I'll just put it all over the place, and then I'll turn the opacity down because that's way too bright and stuff. But yeah, and I'll just drag that down and get it where I like it, and I'm gonna erase some of the sides because I don't like it. But you can motion blur is a lot better when you have a text that's colored, but that's white. But alright, moving on to the bottom text again. We'll put this back up at 100%. Okay, so you want to go to your gradient overlay, and I'm trying to match the same color that's right here on the background. So I'm going to try to just pick a blue, and we're going to go to right here. You want to make it, for the bottom color, you want a really nice dark, you want the same dark blue that you have on there. And then you want to try to match, see if I can match this. I don't know if I can. I'm going to try. You don't want it too dark like I have right here, because it all depends on the color, but you want it so it blends nice. And yeah, and you can always change the color afterwards with human saturation. But alright, so you get your gradient overlay. Sometimes it all depends on what your style is, what you want to do. Sometimes I want to put a stroke at 1 because it just gives that a nice edge and really nice. But most of the time the case will be I will have either drop shadow the way it is, that's the way it is when you click on it, or I'll just 0 size, 20 spread, and 10. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 20 spread and 10 size, 0 distance. The opacity, I'll probably leave it right where it is. But what that does is it makes the tutorial text really stand out more. And then what you can do is, if you want, obviously you can put outer glow, you can add textures, whatever. You can add a quick grungy texture to this. Let me just rasterize this and do this. So that all it is the same thing I did with the other text. And then, whoop, I didn't mean to do that. Put the texture about 25%, and that you can't really see it that well in the video, but it just gives it a tiny little texture. Maybe I'll put it up to 35, but and then you just merge it down, and then you have your text. And then another thing, one last thing for you guys, I always like to fade out the subtitle text just because it really makes the main text stand out more. Like, I'll just turn this down, you don't have to turn it down a lot, but it just turn it down a little bit. So I have this about 75% right now. Okay. And then again, you can just, really color text, you can do it the other way around too. You can have the main text the background color, and then the bottom text white or black. And then try to make as much contrast as you can, because you want to make things stand out, and you don't have a dull, boring background. And sometimes what I like to do is just make this kind of in the background so you can kind of see it fading out. And then I'll erase the edges, as Rated would say, the stuff you don't need. And then so you got this nice little fade in the background of the tutorial. All I did was the same thing I did up for the motion blur, except for I didn't do anything. I just tilted it. And what you can do is just a little Gaussian blur to, not too much, just a tiny bit, maybe a little bit over 3 or something. And that'll just give it a nice little effect. But alright, well that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want any more tutorials, I'll do a Cinema 4D text tutorial if you guys want it. Anything you guys want, and I have plenty of stuff I can teach you guys. Obviously I'm not amazing, but I have some stuff I can teach for especially people that are starting out and they want to get into graphics. So, but alright, that's it for me, guys. Leave a comment, and I'll leave in the link in the description for the final image if you want to check it out. It's nothing crazy. I just wanted to show you, how to get started and stuff like that. But alright, I've probably said this about 5 times now, but I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.